As an actress, I have spent years auditioning in front of people. So for those of you who don't know what auditioning means, it means that you get a role, you get a part, you get the script, you make choices for the character that you're auditioning for, you go into a room with a casting director or producers, and you audition, meaning you read the scene, you pretend that you're the character for those few minutes. And in this process, you are literally putting yourself on the line over and over and over and over again. And any actor will tell you that your profession is really about auditioning more than actually working, because the odds of getting the role are that much more challenging. So, what else, I asked myself, is going on in the room? What am I actually doing when I prepare for a role that is outside the role itself? What is the magic of being in that room and making a connection? This very dialogue was the seed for Lessons for the Limelight, because I realized that what I was doing as an actress could really be translated to anyone who wants to make a great impression, to anyone who has to get on stage and do a PowerPoint presentation, to anyone who's attending a networking event. There is something that was happening in terms of my preparation that I realized could be translated into skills that anyone could use, and that excited me. So it was more than just preparing for the role, even though I knew how to do that. It was that magical area where you created a persona that people simply want to be around, that people connect with. So, Lessons for the Limelight, Series 1, The Mind, has to do with the mindsets that you need as a performer and a communicator. Mindsets that simply open yourself up to other people so that they can connect with you. I'm sure you've experienced this in your own life. When you meet someone who is open, you like them. You want to be around them. You want to hear what they have to say. More importantly, you want to see them again. So, I invite you to really open yourself up and play with me right now, because the lessons that I have assembled for you are really going to be the platform and the foundation for you to be a phenomenal public speaker. So, let's begin with your first exercise. The casting call. The casting call is a brief description of any role that you are about to perform. It's just a sort of overview of who this character is. Very, very simple. Like if I went in for a wedding planner on a soap opera, which I did recently, I think the casting call read 30s upscale professional friendly. Okay, so that's just a general ballpark. Then you go in and you make very specific choices as the character. Now, my first exercise for you is to create your own casting call. What description do you have of yourself that is your absolute dream role? I really want you to play here. I don't want you to just sort of say, yeah, sure, I'd love to be Oprah. Really imagine yourself standing on stage in front of a room full of people. Imagine yourself making a connection with an individual who you know could transform your business. Imagine yourself at a networking event, finding 10 fabulous new contacts. Who are you? What do you look like in that moment? What do you sound like? What are you wearing? How do you feel? You can close your eyes and really connect with this image. But then, I really want you to take that description in your mind and commit it to paper. You can write about it. You can put it in images with a collage, cut out pictures from a magazine. However, you can translate those ideas and really commit them to paper. This is how you define your dream role. And this will really set the stage for your success. So, your dream role. Write a description. Make it very specific. Commit it on paper or pictures. Look at it every day. Now that you have created this beautiful dream role, there is someone else that I need to introduce you to. You may know this person already because I'm sure you have heard him or her speak, but it is someone that I affectionately call the critic. This is an individual that most actors and actresses know very, very well, but it is someone who exists inside of us, and it is a very, very, very loud voice. It is that voice that sometimes tells you, well, you're not so good. That didn't go very well. Oh, you're never going to get that contract. It is that voice that is such a harsh critic of everything that you do. So, my feeling is when you know someone or something, a problem that seems so huge can be minimized like that. That's why I want you to meet your critic. Yes, if it's there all the time, we might as well formally introduce yourself to him or her. So, my critic happens to be male. I don't know why. But once I acknowledged his presence, we began a dialogue. And once we begin a dialogue, it's not so scary. It's not so unknown. So when I walk out of an audition room, for example, and I'm feeling pretty good and I hear that voice that comes up and says, I really think that sucked. I just say, in my mind, no, I actually did the best that I could do. And if I get it, great. And if I don't, we'll move on to the next one. I don't dwell in that place. I don't let that voice of negativity swallow me up. I acknowledge it and I move on. Because in my book, and I've learned this very well, opportunities are everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And when you train your mind to focus on the positive and look for opportunities everywhere, more and more of them come towards you. So, how does one meet your critic? Well, here's where we can have some more imaginative play. I want you to write a description of this individual. Like if it really were a person. Sure, it's a voice inside your head, but if it really were a person, what would he or she look like? Like describe them like they were a real person. Hear their voice. What do they say? What are they wearing? Really know them. Maybe give them a name. When you know them, it really won't be a big deal when you hear them, and believe me, you will. So, again, I've enclosed a worksheet. I want you to meet your critic. Make friends with them. Trust me, you want them as an ally. Sure, sometimes they may tell you things that can be constructive and helpful. Maybe. Most of the time, you can acknowledge what they have to say and move on. Who is your critic? What do they sound like? What do they look like? What do they say? What do you want to say to them?